Congressman Roger Williams joining us on the Clarity Windows and Doors Newsline. Congressman, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming on today.
Well, thanks for having us. You're talking about those 26 lanes in Houston. I think we're getting that from Fort Worth to Weatherford right now.
Getting that the truth?
Yeah, it does seem like that. Yeah, it seems like they're doing a lot of infrastructure work here in DFW, but we need it. I think we're behind the curve on that.
No question. It's a good thing at the end.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, is the government going to be shut down, at least part of it this weekend?
Well, we'll see. The government basically is shut down. We've passed all our appropriation bills except, the one that keeps TSA and Secret Service and all those areas open. So we'll see. But it looks like it's going to be a shutdown, at least for a couple of days.
And what's the reason behind that? What's happening behind the scenes?
The reason is we passed the bills, but to get the appropriation bills passed over in the Senate, the Democrats wanted to take Homeland Security out of it because they didn't want to fund it because of what they perceive as negatives that we've seen on TV with Minnesota and so forth. So that's the debate, is to fund the rest. And the thing about it is, you don't read much about it, is that it's already been funded in the big beautiful bill. But the rest hasn't been, the TSA and Secret Service and so forth, and they're the ones being held hostage until we can come up with an idea whether they wear masks, they take masks off, they have training, they don't have this and don't have that. So it's all political right now. It shouldn't be happening.
The frustration about a lot of this is that, once again, the Democrats have created problems, and they offer no solutions except those that will benefit themselves, and that's frustrating to me.
Well, it is. There is no solutions is what they come with, but who does not want to, we've been this route before, but who doesn't want to pay, the Secret Service? Who doesn't want to pay the TSA? We're going to start seeing problems at the airports again if this continues to go on.
Yeah, and President Trump yesterday changed some EPA rules. I know I've heard people complain about this before. The start-stop item on your car never made any sense.
No, it never did, and people always thought they'd run out of gas or something was wrong. It was a panic. I know that the first time it happened to me, I thought I'd run out of gas. But the fact of the matter is, he's changed that to where in the automobile business now, people can order the car they want. Manufacturers can make the car that people want to buy. We were heading towards 65 miles a gallon under Biden, which would never work. Aluminum vehicles, and they don't pull anything. So this is good legislation. It's going to bring common sense into the marketplace again, and hopefully we'll see a reduction in the price of automobiles.
This will be a little change in the discussion here, but here recently, among city halls and county commissioners and everything, the data centers in Texas has become a huge story. Are we doing too much without enough planning?
Well, of course, these are, individual areas are doing their own planning. Some want it, some don't. These are huge facilities. They're somewhat controversial. They use certain things like water and so forth from the area. I've seen some counties that are for it, some that aren't. And it's too is getting political, but it's the future. We've got to come up with a way that works for both communities and politically, and that where people understand that eventually this is going to move us forward and put us in a whole new world that none of us have dreamed of.
Is anybody in Washington talking about artificial intelligence? We've had a couple of, we had the story yesterday, but we had a couple of people who are leaders in the artificial intelligence community for some of these different sites leaving and sounding on a warning saying this is a world-changing situation that needs to be monitored.
Well, it is, and like anything, it's got good, it's got bad. I mean, I've heard from schools and so forth, kids use AI to take their tests. That's not good, but AI also has some good points to it, and we've passed some guide rails out of the committee I'm on in the banking committee in Congress that will proceed to create guardrails. So as people go into the AI world, they've got to meet standards. They can't do certain things. One, and they're over in the Senate right now. One of which is called Genius. And so we'll see what happens, but I don't think it needs to be monitored that heavy by the government, but the government needs to be aware of issues that could go the wrong direction. We probably need some guardrails.
Last time we talked, the Ford F-150 electric truck has been canceled. Stellantis has made some news in the last week or two. How's the car industry?
Car industry is good. We got all these cars moving around. We're going to fill the 26 lanes up, so we got.
Yeah.
But the car business is good, and but the great thing about it is the manufacturers have gotten out of their woke mentality that they had with the Biden energy plan and the electric vehicles, and they've gotten out of that, and they're beginning to make cars people want. People are getting excited. And we see it in the business. People are finally saying, I can get something that I want now.
Just real quick before we have to go. Yesterday, in fact, it was yesterday, we had a story on that people are topped out at about $50,000. Excuse me. $50,000 to spend on a car. Are you finding that to be true?
Well, they're getting expensive. I would say, though, if somebody said I'm topped out at $50,000, I said, well, that's a down payment, and you can finance the rest.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
But we have people extending their terms. People are basically payment buyers. Cars and trucks are expensive, but there's creative ways to finance it that's friendly to the consumer, and that's what we do in the car business. We compete and we make things better.
This is Congressman Roger Williams. Congressman, as always, great to have you on. We appreciate your time today.
God bless you guys. Thank you.